So the 10th of May. Yesterday we had the Victory Day of Russia, and they celebrated it beautifully. I watched some channels where you can see this. Unlike in the Netherlands, where we have 4 and 5 May, the commemoration days. No, I cannot follow those days anymore with good conscience if you still support Nazism and fascism at the same time, right? It's just not a thing I can do. I just cannot. For the life of me, after my eyes have been opened by the SMO, by the ATO, my eyes were already opened, and I spoke out. I spoke out back then. Also, we had in the same time the MH17 disaster with that airplane. And I spoke out. I had my doubts about the whole story to this day. To this day. And yes, just like Mark Rutte promised himself to us, the public, the Dutch public, we will continue pursuing the truth wherever it leads and wherever under whatever rock we might find it. Well, he did of course the opposite. What to expect? But one day the truth will come out, Mark. That's guaranteed. One day the truth will come out. So here we are, 10th of March, and the last week around the commemoration days of all days. But what else? We had all this war rhetoric going on. Yes, boots on the ground in the Ukraine, troops in the Ukraine, no troops in the Ukraine, NATO will not send troops in the Ukraine. You see the double talk, right? NATO will not send troops in the Ukraine. USA will not send troops in the Ukraine. That would be then NATO, of course, if they have to hide behind something. Then it was not the USA, it will be obligations from NATO instead of the will of the USA. And I saw some remarks on Twitter who almost got it right for the future, almost. Yes, Russia, I believe this report was from Jay Baus that I also follow. Excellent reporting always. Russia needs to step up. No, it was Ray J Politics. Russia needs to step up its speed in regards to the possibilities of Biden being re-elected and then facing Americans on the battlefield 2025 or NATO troops. But that's assuming Biden will be re-elected, and we all know last time it was stolen, so yes, they will do it again, they will steal it again, but I think they will steal it in a different way. The example Zelensky himself gave, it's wartime, there cannot be elections. And that war doesn't necessarily have to be the Ukraine war, right? America, right, world? That can be any war, including Gaza. I can see this double talk already playing out. How Biden cannot step down, he is a president in wartime. Therefore, the elections will be delayed. You see where we are going with this game? And then if he is unfit for duty, which will be announced very shortly after, health reasons, then there will be a follow-up. Whoever, Kamala Harris or whoever they appoint, not elect, appoint. Lovely game, this game of chess on the world stage. Lovely game. Yeah. This will be a hot summer, like I predicted last year. It will be a hot summer. We will, due to ever more sanctions, we will run out of supplies to keep our economy running in Europe. That will lead inevitably to other consequences and collapses, and we know that if you have economic collapses and huge unemployment, especially with a mix of a lot of different people, all desperate, nonetheless different people, then we know what kind of cocktail, what kind of explosive mix you are making. Really, an explosive mix. I mean, the Great Depression, the collapse of Weimar Republic, I believe it was called, right? And the Reichsmark back then, and Italy and other examples, more recent times, show clearly what to expect. Well, if you are then also at a threat of time of war and a wartime economy in which the EU, read about it, it's very interesting stuff. The EU and the Treaty of Lisbon and what they have instilled for us, people of Europe, if we would revolt in case of a economic collapse, revolt against the EU and its dominion over us. I suggest check it out. Very interesting stuff. Professor Schacht Schneider, Emeritus Constitutional Law. He spoke in an interview in 2009 with News DE. He spoke about what is coming. So yes, I dare to say that, in my opinion, this, a republic, is our only solution. We are, after all, too much entwined, too much in bed with each other, with the EU. Agreed? Agreed. If one, it will be like a domino effect. If one exits and everything starts to collapse, then at the end of the day there will be someone not holding cards and paying for it all. And in this case, that trail of dominoes will lead to, yes, the petrodollar. And it will all start to collapse. Now, we cannot change the petrodollar. After all, we are Europe. But we can change the euro. We can demand en masse, all countries, that our gold gets returned and shipped back, because we all can see the signs of what is coming. Right? And why do you think they took all the gold away in America back then? When they stepped down from gold-backed currency. Why do you think the BRICS will succeed? Because they have a gold-backed currency. And they freed themselves, I think that should be between brackets, they freed themselves of the influence of the Western system, which is not gold-backed, but backed by the petrodollar. So, if the people who are basically with their oil backing the petrodollar are starting to step into the BRICS, don't you think it would be wise to pay attention? As Europeans, would it not be wise to pay attention to the Arabs, to the Middle East, who are diverting their assets? They see the collapse of that petrodollar, and our euro, which is instigated, introduced by the same people as behind the petrodollar, our euro will collapse then with that petrodollar. So, we are at the precipice. We have to decide. Either we go all by our own and we'll lose one by one country after another, because they will never allow you to walk away from their influence. Yeah, okay, exit. Dutch, go Nexit. Here we are, on our own. Of course, the dirty little secret behind it all is that the Dutch, the shadow government of the Dutch, is part of that bigger shadow government. So they will still follow, regardless of Nexit, if that would happen, they would still follow then the agenda, the purpose of the deep states. So nothing will change in that regard then for the Netherlands. Okay, so they will still, but Germany, for example, if the Germans try to step out, who are still occupied to this day clearly by the USA, by foreign interest, if they would try to step out, then yeah. If they would do a German exit, then believe it. The rest will try to destroy Germany. They will. Why? Because those other countries are still under the very same occupier, the same foreign interest, be it private or a country. In this case, it is private interest, bankers, private bankers, to whom apparently I, born in 66, am indebted to a debt that apparently was signed, I don't know, God knows how long before I was born. In this case, let's say I'm a German man, I was born in Germany, raised in the Netherlands, but regardless, a German born in Germany, the debt of the Second World War and the First World War, repayments, that's on my shoulders, on my fucking shoulders. Are you insane? Like really, are you insane? You wanna come to me and claim that you out there, whoever, who has a claim on Germany, on Germans, that you have a claim on me that I should still pay? I'm born 22 years after the fucking facts. That's not my signatory there on that so-called I owe you. I don't owe you shit, pardon my language, except one thing. To pay attention that it never happens again, like we promised. For fuck's sake. But I am not beholden to any financial debts. In no way or form will I ever accept the debts of someone else. I didn't sign for it, therefore it's not my debt. Period. So, if someone who is elected, apparently elected, I still have my very big doubts about it, who got only more bigger and bigger given the USA elections and many other fraudulent shit that we saw going on in the EU. Heck, the whole EU is not democratic. So, let's not go down that road. Hence why we need a republic. We cannot defeat them one by one. We cannot. We can only defeat them at once. At once. So, yes, I am totally in support of Mr. Orban and Mr. Fico and all those who speak out against the EU and its agendas. But I also notice that we do not unite. There is no unification between those leaders who are fighting for the very same thing in their own respective countries, but they are not uniting. We, who are in support of those people, we are not uniting. Why? Because there is no common goal. And here, this, a Republic of Europe, with a copy-paste, with some little changes to our European needs, but a copy-paste for at least the very first 2 articles of the Constitution of America. That's what we need. And who can object against this constitution? It's already proven and working, right? So it's just a fucking copy-paste. And then, of course, go to the original, the official from the founding fathers, in which the state issues the money. Gold-backed. Oh, Europe. How the founding fathers are weeping in their graves. You still didn't get the example they tried to set. 250 years later, you are still not brave enough, Europeans, to take what's rightfully yours. What you can demand legally, internationally, peacefully. And yes, if Brussels, the EU, finally drops its mask by committing the very same things that they have in the Treaty of Lisbon instilled for you, prepared for the future to legitimize their actions, well, what can I say? I'm not afraid to hold you to the same standards. I am really not afraid to do so. Never, ever, ever. That's why I joined the fucking army. And you should. I love that American example. Swearing allegiance to your constitution. To your constitution against foreign and internal enemies. I love that. I want that. Who can blame me for it? After all, freedom and democracy, right? America, Europe. Have a nice day. Just some things to ponder about, right?